Christopher Hess.
Freedom for 42-year-old Christopher Hess will come down to how a jury perceives multiple body camera videos and the idea of an immediate threat for a police officer. During opening statements Tuesday, prosecutors called Hess's decision to shoot into a moving vehicle totally unreasonable and totally unjustified. Hess was one of 6 Dallas police officers called out to a report of a stolen car at an apartment complex over 3 years ago. Jurors watched body camera video as officers tried to get whoever was in the car to comply. When the car started up, 2 DPD officers testified their concern heightened and only increased when it backed into a patrol car and then tried to ram through a fence. Aaron Evans was one of the officers on scene.
My belief was that they were going to come back through us, if that was their goal.
You believe that they were going to come back through you? Why would you believe that that's what their next step is?
Because they showed no indication that they were going to stop.
As the vehicle backed up a second time, that's when Officer Hess fired a dozen shots into the car, killing 21-year-old Genevive Dawes. Her passenger was uninjured. Prosecutors argue Dawes, simply trying to leave the scene, shouldn't have gotten her killed.
Can you shoot somebody for disobeying police commands?
No.
Okay. Can you shoot somebody for fleeing in a vehicle if the vehicle is not a threat to you?
No.
But the perception of threat will be another issue for jurors. Late Tuesday, Officer Peter Lecquar testified about what he saw.
And the direction it was backing up indicated that it would then turn towards us. So is immediate a couple seconds? Is it a half second, a split second? It kind of depends.
It may depend on whether Hess takes a stand in his own defense. As testimony continues the rest of the week, in Dallas, I'm David Goen.